that he's managing to not die right now.
How are you doing that with your queen so fast and injecting? That's crazy.
I use what's called the backspace method.
Haven't heard of that one. Definitely going to tell me that after. That is awesome.
Yeah, I can send you to a video that explains it.
Sweet.
I know that he hasn't taken a third still. I know that his natural died, and he's probably trying to rebuild it right now. I know that I'm maxed, or I'm about to be maxed, and he's far from it. Transfer some drones to my new 4th base. I'm going to start a 5th base.
That was very awesome. Good job. I had faith.
You had what? Oh, you had faith?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. I'm trying to think for a second, like, how can I best describe to you why that works? And the thing that most the thing that most is sticking out in my mind right now is the fact that I established map control early in the game. I maintained map control throughout the game, and I was able to exploit that to kind of supercharge everything that I did. I opened up with Speedlings, and I had a Speedling presence outside of his base forever. I never stopped having units outside of his base. I always knew where his army was, and well, I always knew that his army was not attacking me because I had that presence there.
Right.
And it was only a couple lings. He didn't know exactly how many it was. He didn't know if it was 2 or 20 that I had hiding back there. And as it turned out, it was only 2. You know, but had he pushed out, I would have seen it immediately. I could have responded by making units immediately, and then I would have been able to defend because in the time it takes him to push across the map, I get units out.
Yeah.
Because that's how Zerg works. I was staying on top of injections. I had lots of larvae. I was in good shape. So lesson 1 is that map control. Have vision, establish both, or put in him both the fear of the Zerglings. He was kind of showing me a little bit too much respect. He should have been trying to push back a little bit more than he was. So put in him both the fear of the Zerglings and utilize those links to give you the information you need to move forward. So we saw the sentry. We said, okay, it looks like he's expanding. I kind of know what's coming from here. So I was playing very, very macro-centric. I wasn't sitting back at my base just cranking out ling after ling after ling after ling. I was making lots and lots of drones. You said it yourself. I had 55 drones before I made my first roach. You know.
I feel that I don't really know when I should be droning up and when I should be making an army.
Well, this is.
And
I'm telling you.
Like,
I'm telling you.
That comes with the map control, though,
when you
right?
have map control, make drones. The second he challenges you for map control, stop making drones and start making units. It's not, if I have map control, I'm going to make drones. If I don't have full map control, I'm going to make something else. That's not the way it works. It's, if I have map control, I'm going to make drones. The second he challenges me for map control, I go back to making units instantly. The moment that he shows me that he wants to contest my presence on the map, I go back to making units. Because I don't know if he's been sitting behind that wall building up a huge army of his own. You know, so, and you see Protoss players do this all the time. They'll kind of poke halfway up the map, they'll clear the Zelnaga tower, and they'll go back. You know? As Zerg players, we have to respond to that. We have to respond to that with units. If we don't, then, you know, if that attack doesn't turn around, then it kills us.
Yeah.
You know? But it's a constant sort of ebb and flow of, you know, I have, you know, X, or you know, well, fuck, I've been saying it 100 times. I have map control, so I don't need units. You're going to challenge me for it. I do need units, you know. And I didn't make a single unit until he started to challenge me for map control. When he pushed down the ramp and started to expand, he was taking back some of that position that I had been kind of holding. And that was my cue. Okay, now I need to start cranking out these roaches. And then I did. And I had roaches and speed. And another thing I really want to talk about is the importance of burrow.
Yeah.
You saw it there. He had the larger army, but I was able to engage it freely because he didn't have detection. And if he doesn't have detection, there's nothing he can do about me just being like, "LOL, Burrow," and then I'm just chilling, you know. You know, he can't really deal, you know. So, and the really cool thing about Burrow is if he does some sort of aggressive two-base attack, like a 6-gate timing push, which you might not know what that means right now, but you'll come to love and hate it, or you'll
Oh,
come to hate it.
I've been 4-gated a couple times. I freaking hate that.
Yeah, well, you
So
know, in the
I can
face
only
of that
assume.
kind of aggression, Burrow really buys you time. You fight with your roaches, and then as they get low on health, you burrow them, and then the next wave of reinforcements comes, and instead of getting 8 new units, you have 8 new units plus the 4 that you just burrowed. So now it's 12 instead of 8, and you kind of gradually build up this this force because you're preserving stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
it's getting the most mileage out of your units as is possible. The other thing that is kind of important that I want to hit on is the way that we went back to droning when we went back to having map control. All right?
Okay.
Because I asked you about it. I said, hey, I have map control. My army is such that he cannot push and kill me right now. Do I need more army? And you said, well, yeah, I guess up to you, I guess. The answer is no. I do not need more army, so I'm going to make whatever else there is that I can make right now. I want to spend my money on something else because I don't need army. I always want to be efficient. If I don't need army right now, then it's inefficient for me to make army right now. So let's make something else. So I made drones, I expanded, I got upgrades, and I teched. I did all of that stuff instead of making army. So I want you to understand that, you know, we start out with the map control with the lings. He takes it back. And then when our roaches and our burrow comes out, we have map control again until he has detection, which is sweet, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so now we can drone more. Now we can expand more. Now we can do all this other stuff that we want to do. So you need to understand that progression.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, what if you wanted to be more of an aggressive player, where, say, you wanted to push out at him then and contest for map control, then you would just cut your drones, and would that be acceptable?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and there's a very but that's going to revolve around timings, and there is a very cool timing that we can't talk about, which is the roach burrow timing. If I get my layer with my second 100 gas, like my first 100 gas is always for zergling speed, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If I get my layer instantly with my next 100 gas, and if the instant layer finishes, I start burrow. The instant burrow finishes, I have a timing window where I can hurt him. I can go and I can attack, and I do as much damage with my roaches as I can until they start getting hurt, and then I burrow them. And then when my next wave of reinforcements arrive, it's the same thing we just talked about. It's a roach burrow timing attack. And that allows you to be that kind of aggressor. And that's a really cool thing that if you can kind of start picking up on that and using that in the Bronze League, and in the Silver League and in the Gold League, it's going to power you all the way through to Diamond easily. And we're going to try really hard to hit that timing in this game because it's a really cool attack. And I think if you can kind of get a grip on it, then you'll be happy. Are you ready?
Okay. Ready.
All right.
Pressure's on again. Fuck.
Okay. Now, how you open your earliest of the early game is not super important. I mean, there are certain builds that you want to kind of pick. Speedling expand, 14 pool, 16 hatch, fast expand. You need to find one of those that you're comfortable with. But ultimately, how you get through the earliest part of the game is just kind of comes down to what you're most happy doing. 14 pool, 16 hatch is fine, but as you saw, you know, it can kind of be annoyed a little bit by pylon blocks.
Come on, spawning pool. Go.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I put the spawning pool first. My bad.
That's actually not a big deal. Just go ahead and drone up to 15, and we'll try to expand on. Okay, that's fine too.
Well,
That's fine too. Nothing wrong with that. His probe is here, so he would probably block our hatch anyway, so no biggie.
you said expand at 15?
No, no, because you went for gas.
Okay.
There's kind of a few. There's a few different like categories of Zerg openings. There's speedling expand, which is what we're kind of doing. We're getting speedlings first, and then we're expanding.
Yeah.
There's hatchery first, which is exactly what it sounds like, getting a hatchery before you do anything else. And then there's pool first, which is getting a pool and then expanding before speed. So I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to go speedling expand, just make sure that you get speed before you expand. If you're going to go hatchery first, then obviously go hatchery first.
Sorry to get a set of links here.
Yep.
See, when I did that though, I kind of died. You
Alright, great. Now pull your guys off gas, and now you can expand. And these lings facilitate the expansion. He can make the piling. Oh, send your drone down there to expand. See, now you get your hatchery on time no matter what, because hey, you have lings. Sweet. So now you want to start your ling speed, and your next thing you want to start is your second queen after ling speed.
Whoops! I
Okay,
can cancel the
okay.
queen.
No, just your. Okay.
Oh.
Be decisive. All right. If you make a mistake, who cares? Commit to it.
Okay.
Start your next queen now and go back to droning. Get those lings out on the map. You want to take map control.
Take a guess over here that he's over there.
All right. Start your second queen. Remember that's really important, because the second queen dictates our gas timing.
Okay.
Those two extra lings in your natural need to be controlling Zelnaga towers. And you need an overlord, and you need to continue droning. And stop making lings. Damn it.
Whoops. Well, like you said before, if I made them, might as well make them useful, right?
Right.
Why do I got these guys over here? Shit. Should I put my other guys back on gas now?
After your queen
I got
finishes.
2 queens.
Yep. Good. Perfect. Lay a creep tumor. What do you see with your scout?
Zealots, sentries, and you just expanded.
Good.
So now he's would that be like contesting me for map control now, or how would you say that?
Not exactly. You kind of know he's taking the next step. You might want to put down a roach warren in case he comes and pushes, but in general you're still making drones, and now's when you start your layer. Layer. Please make a layer. Thank you. Those lings have to stay out on the map, though. See, when you bring your lings all the way back home, you're surrendering map control, and you're playing blind. We don't want to do that. Control the top Zelnaga tower and continue scouting with your Zerglings. Scouting does not mean attacking and dying. Scouting means just poking in and out and seeing what units he has. Back at home, you're droning. Second gas. Remember, when you start your layer.
Okay. Go layer, second gas.
You have 9 unspent larvae that needs to turn into drones. Damn it. There you go. Much better. Alright, there's you going up to your third gas. No more gas after this. So you're going to stick on 3 for now. You need 1 overlord and drones. And you're not scouting actively enough. You're not checking on his army.
I know. Because I'm trying
I know. There's a lot to do. Alright, so your layer just finished, so you want to start burrow. You want to mine from your second and your third gas. And we're going to start roach production now. So make as many roaches as you